أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Allah said in the Holy Quran, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَقُولُ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ وَبِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. There are some who said, we believe in God and last day, and yet they're not believers. Why? Because يخادعون الله والذين آمنوا وما يخادعون إلا أنفسهم وما يشعرون. They deceive Allah, they betray Allah and the believers. Brothers and sisters, as a Muslim, I just found in Islam many viruses. Islam is in crisis right now. The first virus I'm going to talk about today is Wahhabiyah. Wahhabiyah, it go back to Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab. He created, it's a bid'ah. They created. Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab al-Najdi. He from Najd. So let's talk about Najd. Let's see what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said about Najd. And why Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, he's one of the shayateen al-lins. Let's see this hadith, which is in Bukhari, Sahih al-Bukhari. عن ابن عمر رضي الله عنهما أنه سمع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ذكر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال اللهم بارك لنا في شامنا اللهم بارك لنا في يمننا قال وفي نجدنا قال اللهم بارك لنا في شامنا اللهم بارك لنا في يمننا قالوا يا رسول الله وفي نجدنا فأظنه قال ثالثة هناك الزلزال والفتن وبها يطلع قرن الشيطان رواه البخاري والترمذي وأحمد. Brothers and sisters, وبها يطلع قرن الشيطان. In Najd, there is a horn of shaitan will come out from there. Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, basically, he divides the Muslim people. He takfir whoever believe what he believe. If you don't follow him, he takfir you. He said you're not a believer. That's what he done. And that's the Wahhabiyah doing right now in Islam. They killing many Muslim people. They did many bad things in Islam. And they call themselves Salafiyah or Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. That's a liar. That's a liar. That's a liar. If you go to a book which is called Muzakaratu Masar Hanfa, he was an English spy in Middle East. He talked about Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab. He met him in Basra. And he said in that book, which is Muzakaratu Hanfa, I recommend you guys to read that book. You will know more about Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab and how bad he was and what he done in Islam. If you go in that book, Mr. Hanfa, when he met him, he said he met a rude person who really flow his nerves. He flow his nerves in understanding the Quran and Sunnah. Mr. Hanfa said, Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, he used to say he knows more than Abu Hanifa. He rejects all for madhab. And the Wahhabiyah, they said right now they are flowing madhab Ahmad ibn Hanbal, which is liar, because according to this book, he said he reject all for madhab. He used to say he know more than Abu Hanifa. He even know more than Sayyidina Abu Bakr and Sayyidina Umar. I swear to God, you can find it in the books. This is Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab who create Wahhabiyah. They said something which is they don't believe it. That's what they do. And if you go to this book again, basically Mr. Hanfa, he said Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab said directly the half of book of Bukhari is wrong. And now they call themselves Salafi or Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah who flow in Bukhari, who believe in Bukhari. That's a liar. He said that. You can find it on that book. And Mr. Hanfa, he misguided him. He used him to destroy Islam. He even made him a mut'a, which is the Shiite do it right now. Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, he did mut'a in that time, which is the contract is a week of marriage. That's what he done. If you go to that book, you're gonna find it. I'm not saying the mut'a is halal. I don't say that, but he did it. He did it, and he's the leader of Wahhabiyah, whom themselves called themselves Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, and the Salafiyah, Salafus Salih, which is liar. Can you see what he done right now? And you said you know as than Sayyidina Abu Bakr or Sayyidina Umar, or you know more than Abu Hanifa, or you said half of Bukhari is wrong, and that's what you done right now. He even made him drink. You know, when he met the mut'a with a Christian woman who was a spy in Middle East, Mr. Hanfa asked him. No, first Mr. Hanfa, he discussed with Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab about khamr, alcohol. He said to him, "Is alcohol is not haram?" Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, he was shocked. So longer discussion. Mr. Hanfa, he convinced him. And Mr. Hanfa spoke with the Christian woman. Just tell him to make a very strong drink, alcohol, khamr, for Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab. And that night he drank. He even danced. You can find this one in this book. I swear to God, Muzakkaratul Hanfa. It's time to let you know the Wahhabiyah, they are a virus, or more dangerous a virus, or coronavirus in Islam. They are liar. They don't follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They don't follow the Quran. Their leader, who creates the Wahhabiyah, he even believes the half of Bukhari is wrong. So that means he don't follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam perfectly. He drank on that night. He danced, and that lady, she called herself Sophia because she's a spy. She changed her name. She said to Mr. Hanfa, she slept with him on that night many times because she was drunk. Look what he done. And he called himself Wahhabiyah, Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. They misguide you. Right now they pretend to be Islamic leader. That's what they're trying to do, but they're wrong. They got many people because some people, they just looking for the truth. If you call them to Al-Quran and Sunnah, they're gonna follow you. Brothers and sisters, I ask you to be aware of them. They're not following the Sunnah properly. I swear to God, I'm gonna show you another proof, which is Wahhabiyah is very dangerous sect in Islam. They don't follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They even falsify his hadith sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know what the Prophet said? Man kazaba alayhi muta'ammidan falyatabawwa maq'adahu minan nar. They did something worse than that because they falsify his hadith. Let me read this hadith for you right now. You're gonna see it by yourself. This piece of paper is the old one. So that means you can find this one only in the old Sahih al-Bukhari. You can't find it, the new ones, they print it in Saudi Arabia because they falsify it. You know, any hadith talk about Wahhabiyah. Wahhabiyah is the Khawarij in our time. Any hadith you found they talk about Wahhabiyah, they falsify it, my friend. Do you know why? Because they got power. They link up with Saudi government. They able to do anything in hadith. Let me read this hadith for you. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يأتي في آخر الزمان قوم حدثاء الأسنان سفهاء الأحلام يقولون من خير خول البرية. That's them. They talk about the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. يقتلون أهل الإسلام. They kill the Muslims. They kill the Muslims. You see? ويدعون أهل الأوثان. And they leave the people who worship idols. And look, the next one is really important. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he described them, the way they dress and the way they look like. You can find it today easily if you know any Wahhabiyah. Kathul lihyati. Oh my God, Allahu Akbar. Kathul lihyati. They got a thick beard and muqassirin al-thiyab. Short clothing. That's what they're wearing right now. Muhallaqin al-ru'us. They cut their hairs. Yuhsinun al-qila. When they talking to you, they talking very, very nicely. You definitely gonna say, oh, these people, they are on the right path. Because the way they're talking to you, the way they're preaching. But they don't believe that. Why? When you see al-fi'ala. When they acting, you gonna know they are not following the Al-Quran and the Sunnah. Like I said it before, because Muhammad ibn Abdul